Jeff and Jeremy.
This is what I would listen to when I would roll on Rainier.
Oh, you're coming around on that, huh?
Wouldn't it be roll on Rainier instead of roll in Rainier?
That's how they say roll on. They say
But-
rolling.
Roll on?
Remember that
Roll on
song
Rainier?
by Limp Bizkit? We're rolling, rolling, rolling. That's what they're doing.
I don't know what he's doing in
They're
that.
moving.
I have
They're
no
moving.
idea what he's doing in that.
They're moving. Take it from somebody who listened to that kind of music for most of his life.
I'm rolling Rainier, but I roll on Rainier, then it's no doubt that it's the street, okay? Like you're rolling on
But
Rainier.
that's what they don't.
You roll on the
you
street.
realize rap, they shorten everything. And we're talking about the lyrics to Sir Mix-a-Lot's My Posse's on Broadway.
Huge argument yesterday. That's actually a 24-hour argument. I think it will be. We didn't actually. It's only technically a 20-hour argument.
We're
right
going to
now.
call JoJo Lopez.
He's not going to know.
What do you mean he's not going to know?
The
It's
same
his job
reason why.
to know.
Yeah, but it's the same reason why.
He spent time in Fresno, bro. Come on.
Yeah, he has no idea. He'll be like, "Who's Sir Mix-a-Lot?"
Yeah, right.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's lucky because he did not have his music destroyed, the master tapes. Did you hear about this? So this happened over a decade ago, so I don't know if you'll remember it, but there was a big fire at Universal Studios. And at the time, they were like, oh my God, it ruined the King Kong exhibit. Because the King Kong exhibit is what started it, right? Because King Kong would come out, there'd be fire and all that stuff. Well, one of the flames went rogue.
I remember this.
And torched a big portion of Universal Studios.
Which at the time I remember I was kind of bummed, and then I had some time thinking about it. No, this is better because they're going to rebuild everything and make it better.
Yeah, and that was the focus that Universal steered it in. Okay, they were like, King Kong theme park attraction. We lost it in the fire, and we also lost a lot of video content. But there was one thing that they were hiding, and the New York Times. You want to talk about like real news? New York Times lately has been like investigating things, and like they've been getting into the deep, like journalism used to be done. Like remember when TV stations would hire cameramen to go out and they wouldn't count on you to send them a video of what you
Right. Send us your videos. Be safe, but send us your videos because we don't want to pay a cameraman to go do it.
Right.
We don't even have cameramen anymore.
New York Times not doing that. So they've been investigating this for the last decade. All right.
Okay.
They're like, okay, let's check out this fire. Let's see what's going on with this fire. Well, a report that they released yesterday showed that
Arson.
no, it showed there was an accidental fire, but they were hiding some of the things that got destroyed. Master recordings from, now this is just a short list, but it speaks to the magnitude of the level of bands that lost their master recordings on this, okay? The Eagles, Aerosmith, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Buffett, Elton John, Nine Inch Nails, Tom Petty, The Police, Sting, R.E.M., Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Tupac, Eminem,
So-
50 Cent, Sheryl Crow, Beck, Nirvana, Snoop Dogg.
When I think of Universal, I'm thinking movies, but then, yeah, they also had a record label.
Yes.
And so these were the originals.
These were the master recordings of all these artists' songs. Now, they never made any mention of this because they feared legal and PR reaction from the artists and the estates.
How do you hide that from an
lost
artist?
well, because if they never asked for it, they're the masters. They think that they're, under safekeeping.
Right.
They're like, oh, yeah, the label's got that. That's all taken care of.
We kept them
So
down
it's a
in
cover-up.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge cover-up
We
from
kept them down
Universal.
in the King Kong exhibit. Yeah, that's where all the masters were. All
Michael
the master
Stipe,
copies.
Michael Stipe's like, hey, you still got what's the frequency, Kenneth? And they're like, yeah, we got that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll get it to you. It's not the master recording, but hey, Bill, did you ever download that on iTunes? Can I get that, please? We got to send it back to Michael Stipe.
I don't know the music business all that well. I don't know how it works. I don't know. And it's changed over the last decade, right? I mean, we can all admit that the music business is not what it was a decade ago. But I mean, like Buddy Holly's songs, Chuck Berry's songs.
Yeah, you start talking about people that have passed away. And
Etta James, At Last. The master recording of At Last.
The wedding song.
The wedding song has been
the past
lost.
century.
Now, I don't know what a master recording is worth because, you know, you have... I mean, I could type into YouTube At Last and I'll get 12,
These must have been
12 possibilities.
Old reel-to-reel. I doubt they were digital, right?
Right. I mean, well, especially Etta James.
These were old tapes. These were pretty cool. I mean, this would have went for millions.
I mean,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, so like what? Now, the New York Times says that they feared legal and PR reaction from the artists and the estates that lost their masters. What kind of repercussion could the artists or their estates have for these tapes? Their artistic
integrity,
their artistic.
Well, you know, property,
their intellectual property.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, who owned it? Did Universal own it because they were the record? You all know how record companies work. And you sign a record deal when you're a band, and they own your ass.
They can use it to go over to Paramount and TP the place if they wanted to.
Because they're like, hey, we'll make you millionaires, we'll make you superstars, but we're going to own everything. So I don't know if what they really would. I don't know if they would have had really anything. Maybe it was just trying to save face why they didn't bring it up. That's interesting that the New York Times found this. It's kind of a cool, interesting piece.
Oh, very interesting piece. We'll put a link up to it over on our Facebook page for all you music enthusiasts, and like just like what the magnitude of this could be. I mean, you think about Universal and what the media giant that it is, but there's as many artists as were listed and as big time as they are. And the Eagles were suing that hotel in Mexico for naming themselves the Hotel California.
The naming rights, yeah.
You don't think they're going to sue over the masters to the actual song Hotel California?
That's probably the case.
No
Universal
wonder
might come down. They might bring them all down.
The name of the piece is called "The Day the Music Burned." And God, is there not a better title for that?
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.